Hello and welcome to Beyond Threats webinar, where we untangle the complexities of fashion, logistics and customs in a rapidly changing regulatory environment. My name is Katja Idsinga, Customs Director at Bleckmann, and I'm delighted to guide you through today's session, Customs 101. In the next few slides, I'll explain when you encounter customs and the parties involved. Next, I will talk about customs procedures, followed by some details on the customs declaration. I will conclude with some consideration on fashion and lifestyle. With any customs transaction, there are multiple stakeholders involved. Of course, the national customs authorities and the entity importing or exporting the goods. Any participant in the supply chain, such as a manufacturer or a transport company, may also hold valuable information for your customs declaration. If you do not have an in-house customs team, a customs broker may be engaged to file your declaration on your behalf. In short, customs comes into play with any cross-border transaction. I will detail some specifics in the next slide. Interaction with customs typically takes place prior to arrival of the goods, when you file a declaration, and during audits. Audits can take place both when you file the declaration, but also retrospectively, and can be focused on the physical inspection of the goods, but also on documentation or information provided by you or by your customs broker. When moving goods across a border, goods will be placed on so-called customs supervision until they have been imported or exported. When under customs supervision, the following procedures can be distinguished: import, export, procedures around transportation, also referred to as transit, and here specifically I have indicated a T1, which relates to movement of goods that have not yet been imported. As an example, goods arriving in Rotterdam and moving them to a destination in Germany. The T2 relates to goods that are in transit between two EU locations via the territory of a non-EU country, such as moving goods from the Netherlands to Italy via the territory of Switzerland. Lastly, I mentioned processing. This relates to temporarily bringing goods into a country for manufacturing, followed by the re-export. Considerations to be made here are whether duties are due at import and what the final destination of your products is. When dealing with customs, a declaration is required. Information that should be included in the declaration can be divided into three main buckets: the parties involved, information to identify the products such as SKU information, product description and weight, and information to calculate the duties due. Where the first two speak for itself, I would like to highlight a bit more on the last bucket. The value of the goods should always be an actual value. Zero value, for example for samples, is not accepted. Elements such as transportation cost, insurance and royalty may form an integral part of the customs value. The classification code, also referred to as HS code or customs tariff, determines the duty rate applicable. The customs country of origin, which is actually not necessarily the same as the country of dispatch or the country of manufacturing, may result in a lower customs duty rate, referred to as preferential origin, or to restrictions, referred to as non-preferential origin. Although customs rules apply to all goods for which customs declarations are filed, there are some specifics for products in fashion and lifestyle. Firstly, most items are dutiable, which is not the case for all products. Therefore, your sourcing strategy, which may have an impact on the customs origin of the goods, may also impact the import duty rate that applies for all the goods that you bring to a country. I have referred to free trade agreements on the slide, as they may detail if and under which circumstances the lower duty rate may apply. The classification codes or tariff codes may be dependent on the weight of the goods. This is not the case for many other products. Having the correct weight in your master data is therefore crucial to have. In fashion and lifestyle, we also see a high return rate of products, higher than for other products. When dealing with cross-border transactions, it is key to consider this when you want to avoid double payment of duties when receiving the goods back to your initial storage facility. As a next point, many countries also have rules around low-value imports. These shipments may be excluded from duty payment and is referred to as the de minimis rule. As a last point, I would like to refer you to stock keeping. This is not necessarily a customs consideration, but the decision to keep your stock local or central may impact the choice for the type of customs procedure and whether you would like to import products or store them in a bonded warehouse. With this, I would like to conclude this webinar. I would like to thank you for your attention. My name is Katja Idsinga, and I'll see you in the next Beyond Threats webinar.